on my grind. You know how I do.
Let's get cracking!
Welcome back, everybody, here to your coverage of the D2CL. I'm your host with English Livestream, Toby1, coming to you from our Joinder studio right here in Berlin for game number 2 of our Best of 5 Grand Final, where Team Empire is going up against Fnatic. Team Empire having a very convincing game. Number 1, you could say Fnatic was almost silenced during that game, but we'll see if they can get themselves back up and screaming as they, yeah, thanks, Sid. Hey. Insert,
you deserved it.
What? Hey! There has to be some stupid pun which comes with every introduction. It's my thing, man. Unless you prefer me to actually come in here and go, greetings and salutations, Dota fans! We're here for the D2CL. Fnatic going up against Team Empire in the red corner. Hailing from parts of Ukraine and Russia, we have Resolution. Mag always on a fly fence score, as well as Silent. Would you prefer that kind of introduction for you?
Sounded pretty good to me.
Sounds good?
Yeah,
sounds good.
Kind of like that. The only problem is, where's the red corner?
Well, the red corner is the die corner. Oh, wait, they're over on the Radiant side. Ah, put it up.
See, this is why you can't do introductions like that, because you don't know the colors. You can't tell them apart.
Well, if you want, man, like, we could try and do the whole boxing kind of thing of, like, in the blue corner, hailing from parts of Europe, as well as parts of Arabia, we have Fnatic weighing in a grand total, combined weight of 630 kilograms.
Of which 450 are muscle.
Yes. That's Fnatic for you. Right there.
And Big Daddy is the smallest of all of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we've had it with the weird stuff. Let's
get into
the draft. We're actually kind of far into it. And what a surprise Fnatic gets Tinker, but yeah, well, this time around he's gonna have some different opponents. The Skywrath will be picked up again by Empire, just as an order of draft. Brewmaster was the first overall pick by Fnatic. The response was Tide Sky, and then Tinker was picked by Fnatic. So they do have the Skywrath against the Tinker again, but Brewmaster not available and immediate Storm ban. Now I'm gonna call the clock this time again. This time that will be their solution to the Tinker.
Saying clock? You've already got Mag on Tidehunter.
Tide. Yeah.
You've already got Mag on Tidehunter. I would have said like Storm Spirit was going to be an option, but obviously banned out. The other thing would be Puck to highly flag him up there because he's great up against both Brewmaster as well as Tinker. So you're running double silence, you're running double range controller. And you've already got the Tide Ravage, which the range is like stupendous anyway. So for me, I'll be calling a Resolution Puck in this game, unless he feels like he can man-fight the Tinker in the lane and shut him down that way, which means you'd have to go into something else in the lane, like an OD or something along those lines.
Or an Invoker, which actually we don't see that much anymore, but I still think it's okay. Cold Snap got nerfed a big deal, which I think it had to, but apart from that, they could have gone for that, but they're going to get the Faceless Void. This hero is first pick right now in China. It gets first pick like every game, and in the West it seems like slowly people are starting to agree with it. They're not going to first pick it by the looks of it, but it gets picked sometimes earlier now. Third pick Void was kind of unheard of just a month ago, but here we go for Empire. They're going to have sick team fight, and this is another hero who can catch off Tinker, but you really need to not whiff that chrono when you jump in.
Yeah. Nah, you do that and you'll just be hating yourself forever. But then again, like we're into this position I was talking about during game number 1, where like we're talking about like the potential of both Enigma as well as Titan together. You've always got one huge ultimate. The Fnatic will be sitting there going, I don't know if we can win it because of this. And with that there, like Fnatic have to be so careful about when they initiate. Or they just try and force things early. But then again, what are you going to do? Try and force things up against Anchor Smashing Tidehunter? He's so difficult to kill off. Woo! Hey, 2 for 2. But then you got like Faceless Void, who's going to have Chrono by the time you're really ready to try and force an issue. And then you got Skywrath Mage, who is going to be slowing you up, silencing you up. So Brewmaster jump in. Like that Seal, is actually is there even animation time for Seal?
No.
So it's
well,
like
there's the minimum cast point. I think it's very, very low at least.
So you could technically like get an instant Seal off on the Brewmaster once he blinks in.
Yes.
And then you'll have like a follow-up from Puck on the silence. So Fnatic's timing for initiation I'm still very, very concerned about because Team Empire have so much disable and control that I don't know when Fnatic is really meant to like say, hey, our time is now.
Reserve time.
Yeah, and they have good late game too. It's what Empire's previous draft had as well. They had many ways of initiating. They have that once again, a Puck with a blink, Void jumps in, or you have a concussive shot again with the Ancient Seal, and even Tide might get a blink here. So again, Empire has this well-rounded lineup that's superior in teamfights, just hands down. Even though they're against a Brew, they still have better teamfights, just how it is. And they seem to like to draft this way. It's been a recurring theme for Empire over the last months that they like getting a lot of lockdown and play very aggressively. It is pretty much historically the CIS way of playing the game is just being hungry for kills and fights in general. And Empire is carrying that legacy over and continuing it. So I really like their draft, and if it comes to late game, they still have great late game with Void, who's an excellent late gamer. Tide will have a refresher by that point, and the other heroes create so much space and so much time in the fights for the damage to be dealt. So Fnatic, I'm a little bit with you, not a little bit with you. I'm with you. I'm a little bit worried for them for this one as well.
Fnatic's turn to ban.
And the only thing I kind of want to see out from Fnatic right now is they run a Tinker in the mid, they run a Brewmaster on their safe lane. And let him go one-on-one with the Tidehunter. I know it's not a favorable matchup, but it's probably the best they can get. Throw Enchantress aggressively into the enemy jungle. Use the SD as a combination hero. Kunkka would have been great to work with that one. Mirana is still available for it as well. And they're just going to try and stick it to Team Empire. Not to the Void, who's going to be farming up on that safe lane. But try and find the Skywrath Mage out, or whoever else is in the jungle for like Empire. Catch him out. Move towards the mid lane, try and buy that space for Excalibur just to win his lane in the mid up against the Puck. That's all I'm really searching for from Fnatic in this game. I just think if they sit back and farm this one up, when the 6s arrive for Void, Puck, and Tide, you may as well just like count your GG calls out there, because they're going to get destroyed. Puck's always going to find farm, he's going to get his Blink Dagger. I don't know how Fnatic is meant to win and control this game early on.
Here's what Empire could actually do to avoid that problem. They could put Faceless Void mid and put an optional support there. There doesn't even necessarily have to be one. And then they can put their trial in the bottom with Puck farming. It's something that the Chinese teams have been doing in some games. Void is really hard to kill in lane, actually. If he starts with a poor man's shield and gets backtrack early on, the Fnatic lineup can't gank a Void. They disrupt him into whatever creeps Enchantress has. You just jump. You time walk out. There's no reliable stun for Fnatic that will keep him in place. And you could say it's the same for Puck, but Puck sometimes uses the Illusory Orb to farm and push the lane, and then you're exposed for a little bit. Void will never be at risk in the mid lane. And we could see him farm the safe lane, but I think he's going to get good farm mid too, so they actually have a couple of options here. And more team fight. I mean, why not? Might as well. Icing on the cake with an AA.
Quite literally, Sind.
Yeah, quite literally.
Yeah. But with Faceless Void getting like bonus damage during the middle of a Chrono, with your ability to also have like a follow-up Cold Feet, Vortex buffing up everything else you're throwing out, and then the synergy between like AA as well as Skywrath Mage, it's not the most amazing synergy in the early levels, like as far as like Cold Feet with Concussive Shot, you're not going to go, yeah, we're going to get that Cold Feet every single time, like you can with Rubik. But what's going to come in after that, though, is just like huge amounts of damage from the Skywrath Mage, combining up with bonus physical DPS from them all. Team Empire, like, it's such a simple draft, though. Like, it's such a simple draft. Like, we're not going completely out of the box going, whoa, I was never expecting that hero to work with this hero. It's just simple and really well thought out. And now we get Fnatic with the Death Prophet. Maybe this is what I was searching for, something which lets them be a little bit more aggressive early on, and actually gives them some level of disable of their own. Because right now it's like SD Purge, Disruption. We had really, there's Clap for slow, Excalibur for mischance, Enchant for slow, that's it. But now you've actually got a silence. You've got something which has some high level of control, and it's going to be Hani on the Death Prophet. So it looks like he'll be the man playing the core in this game.
I don't know, man. I have a really bad feeling about this for Fnatic. I don't know what else they should have picked last, and I definitely think, you know, their lineup is good. It's not that their lineup doesn't have synergy and can't win the game and doesn't work at all. Every single of their picks makes sense, but again, I just have this feeling that seeing how Empire played in the last game, I have a feeling they might just run over Fnatic again. Fnatic needs to get off to a good start, and Chantress Shadow Demon need to find a couple of ganks so their cores get strong, because else we're reaching that mid-game point when the ultimates come up for Empire. If they get 1 or 2 Blink Daggers and like Puck or Tide, I can't imagine Fnatic winning a team fight in any possible way. They have to gank early and find farm so they're ahead. If this game is even, my money's on Empire. Know if you agree.
I agree. 100% with you, man. Like, as far as looking at everything in the drafts, the timing for it all, I just feel Empire's got such great early game. They got wonderful transition into mid-game, and late game, Void's the man. Like, there's nothing you can do once you're locked inside of a Chronosphere. Like, I saw a Tier 3 Brazilian team destroy Mousesports during, like, the MSI Beta qualifiers by having a Faceless Void with a large amount of farm, and you had someone who was, like, as great moving with Puck as Fader, and he couldn't do jack. Gets caught in the Chrono, and you sit there going, well, all that money, everything which I work towards, counts for nothing when I don't have the power of time. And you just destroyed. And I'm seeing the same kind of thing coming up for Hani. Like, he pops off his ultimate, gets caught in the Chrono. It's only going to take a couple of lucky time locks inside it, with a little bit of damage coming out from the Tide, and you've already got a kill. Yeah, they're coming in for a first fight. Now, Mag, what's he going to level up here? He's the guy on the front lines. If they're going to initiate this one, he needs to actually level up Gush. But they're not going to, because if he levels up Gush, he cripples himself in the lane. But they're coming in a long way here. Look at that.
Is that next level courier bait?
I don't know, man.
30 seconds.
So, okay,
I doubt Silent would have jumped for that, though.
There's a couple of things Fnatic has that can deal with the Chrono. They do, of course, they have Disruption. So if Big Daddy doesn't get caught in it, he can buy enough time for the target to come out. And maybe even more importantly, Hani, with his ultimate running and Soul Catcher on the Void before he gets BKB, might just disallow Void from actually fighting inside his own Chrono because he will die too fast. So, but the problem is, this is not about whether Void can deal damage in mid-game or not, because he doesn't even need to deal damage. I think if Void just casts his Chrono and dies, I think Empire can still win the fight 4-on-5 if the Chrono is good. That's how much stronger their teamfight is in my book. And then when he needs to deal damage is in the mid-late game when, well, then he's going to have a couple of items and not die so easily to the DP. So we'll see. I think Fnatic, it's very important that Hani gets off an early mech, which I believe he will be getting for their team this time around, because they need some sort of teamfight presence and it has to come through items, else Empire's just going to brute force their towers down.
Yeah. Man, I want to... Okay. I was really worried about this ward on the bottom that was planted by Vanscore. He dewarded the Fnatic Observer ward very early on, but I thought for a moment it was going to block up this camp, but it looks like it's just inch high enough.
Yeah, the spawn box for that camp actually pretty much lines up exactly with the trees, so if you put it just a little bit above, that's perfect.
Well, he's got that one, man. But at lanes, as far as it goes, looks like top lane's having itself some fun time. Mag running away from this SD disruption as well as laser combo coming out. So it's a safe lane Tinker with Big Daddy as the SD supporting. Mag's taking up boots first. Tidehunter, I'll say boots first, now picks up his boots so he can battle up against this SD. While in the jungle, you got Fly doing an Enchantress. You've got Hani in the middle lane, Death Prophet up against Resolution's Puck. And down towards the Radiant jungle, always on the Fly doing a bit of a pull through. He's got Vanscore there with him as the Skywrath Mage, Silent as Faceless Void, and that puts an off-lane Brewmaster, Mr. Stout Shield, Drunken Brawler, and no experience points on bottom lane.
That's a pretty accurate way of putting it. And I don't think Trixie's going to get anything. Brewmaster offlane is really bad on Dire. I like to look at it in a very simple way. I think the offlaners you generally want to put on Dire are either dual lanes like Fnatic and
SD Disruption. Yeah. Fly's also going to troll here, so we can trap up Mag. There's still Anchor Smash available, and killing off this offlane Tidehunter. Teams can try, but unless you're diving in behind the tower with a large amount of damage, you're going to have no joy there whatsoever.
And there's a couple of reasons why it's so much easier to be the Radiant offlane. The main reason, of course, is where the wave starts and how, you have this camp, you can pull this one to the left. you're generally in a better lane position, and because of that, there's many heroes you can run on the Radiant offlane, which are really weak on the Dire. Brewmaster is an example of a hero I would not put on the Dire offlane, and we're seeing why, because Trixie, in the Dire offlane, what it's really all about is either putting so much pressure with your hero that you force the supports to not pull, or have something that can disrupt the creep equilibrium, like Clockwork Cogs to block away the creep wave, Lich to deny creeps, or running dual lanes or something like that. Anything that can kind of be disruptive in the lane. Brewmaster doesn't have any mechanic to do that, so he's just being bullied away. He has to stand back, watch Silent get rich, and not really do anything about it. And the trade-off is Tide is having a great time top. First of all, he's Radiant, and secondly, Tide is just a better offlaner than Brew.
I want to ask you this question now. So, like, you're breaking apart the offlane, so I want to break apart the #1 positions. You got Silent versus Tinker. Now, I'm watching Silent just free farming bottom lane. He's staying ahead of the CS of the Tinker. What is the Tinker really going to change once he gets farmed? Like, what's his purpose coming into what I appear to be like 10 minutes when he has his BTs up and running?
He has to get a couple of good marches off defensively when Empire go for tower fights or for diving kills. That's what he can do at that point. Of course, he needs to continue farming, and then if he reaches a late game position when he has a lot of farm, Fnatic has a lineup that can find ganks and pick heroes off. Soulcatcher, like I said, together with Tinker, just one-shots a hero pretty much if Tinker has a Dagon. And you have somewhat good smoking potential with Enchantress and Shadow Demon combined, and Brewmaster if he gets anything, which I'm slightly worried for Trixie for so far in this game. But yeah, in my book, not the best Tinker game, and I think Fnatic are just forcing themselves to play this hero because they feel like, okay, Excalibur is really good on this hero, we have to pick it. My question for you, I think you've cast more Fnatic than I have recently. Do they ever pick anything else than Tinker or Meepo for Excalibur if one of those is available? Ever pick any other hero?
Nothing instantly comes to mind, and I actually haven't cast that much Fnatic recently. Like, not even a Dream League, I wasn't casting that, I was just watching it. But even then, man, I don't think they really mixed it up much. There's like some... Man, I almost want to double check this now. Because you don't really remember any other game when he plays another hero. Alright, I'm looking at his history, and it's basically SF. Is actually his last year we played, which was last night up against Navi. Then it's Tinker, Meepo, SF, Meepo, Tiny, Tinker, Meepo, Tiny, Meepo, Tinker, Lycan, Tiny.
Okay, so more variety than I thought, but still about 60% of his games are Tinker or Meepo, I guess. And especially of their big victories have been with him on those heroes, so... I mean, of course, Fnatic can sit and think, okay, we won a lot of games because he had a standout performance on those heroes, but like you said, they're being figured out. And they're playing the same thing, and it's okay. You see, Empire are not doing anything extraordinary. I think their drafts so far in the games have been pretty predictable as well, but the thing is, they play a style, but they have so many different heroes they can put into that style. So even though you know how Empire's going to play, they're not easy to draft against Tani.
They're coming for first blood up against him. He actually went for a very early ultimate, and the SD Disruption's the best time. Actually evades a lot of the damage coming out from Skywrath Mage, allowing Honey now to bottle up. And they're looking for a kill and always want to Fly, considering they got the catch on him. And Fly was also rotating into the middle lane. But this Krob ulti is not going to last that long, which means they get no damage onto the tower. It's very defensive. The first rotation in, the creep wave's already dragged down, and it's minimal damage to the tower. In fact, Ancient Apparition's doing more damage to Fly right now, with 2 points up in Chilling Touch, than Fnatic did to basically all of Team Empire.
The good thing for Fnatic about this, first of all, they avoided getting the first blood given to Empire, which is great, but it's not only that. Trixie finally gets a little bit of space bottom. He's level 3, 6 minutes in against... Well, Tide is almost level 6 in the top lane, so that kind of...
I hate to tell you, man, but Trixie's been level 3 for, like, the past 2 minutes.
Yeah, but he's getting some now, at least. He's gonna get 2 waves, so he might hit level 4, but... Just, yeah, as far as golden experience goes, it's actually fairly even right now, and I think the Enchantress is the big factor. They're just getting more out of the jungle right now, with Fly almost being level 6, so he has prioritized farming over ganking, which I think is fine. He tried one gank top, didn't really work, and I don't see much gank potential in the mid lane. He has to play the farming Enchantress, but then, if this is how you want to play the Enchantress in this game, do you think Enchantress was the better choice over something else?
I didn't see the Enchantresses doing anything in this game. Like, the talent to pick up makes it impossible to really gank him on the top, because the chance of survival is just so high. You can't gank up Resolution in the middle lane, because he's just so difficult to control. And if you try and gank up Silent on the bottom lane, you're going to die. That's why I kind of said during the drafting phase, I want to see the Enchantress go aggro tri-lane, because it hasn't had enough presence early on, and every time you've rotated out, like, it's good experience levels coming into Fly, but that's basically all. I think the original idea behind it was that Hani would trick the ultimate, and Fly would have an army of the dead in front. And they would just tank up everything else that's there. And they just force down early towers. Like, we're 7 minutes, 8 minutes in. The tier 1 tower goes on the top lane, and Hani was actually rotating over to try and help with this. As he's building into a Yule Scepter? Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
Straight Yule Scepter.
It's so good in Death Prophet.
The first item Yule Scepter over, like, mech? Because this isn't there for him.
That's true. I was saying the mech, but I think we might see Fly getting that. Because he was playing so farm intensive, he could perhaps get it at a decent timing here, and let Hani focus on carrying a bit more.
He built strength traits, man. Like, if this is going to be the Enchantress I think it's going to be, it's an Urn Enchantress.
Yeah, it could be. And I know they're playing against AA, so the mech isn't a guaranteed heal if you're under Ice Blast, of course, but I still think they're going to have to go for it. They need something to deal with these fights, unless they believe that they can split push this game so hard that they never get into a team fight, because without a mech, I don't see them winning a team fight against Empire's lineup right now.
They can't split push this game though. Like, when they want to take towers, they've got to commit more than just like a tink on a split push. Because your AA ulti is already going to screw with you a lot. Having Puck in the trees at any point, being able just to blink himself out, is also going to screw you up. Like, Resolution now has finished treads. They're still going to come out in the courier, but he has treads. And with an Invis rune, he's probably going to kill off SD now. Like, Silent's waiting for the opportunity. They're going to look behind the tower and see both Trixie as well as SD here. So Resolution's primary objective, silence the SD, which means they can kill Trixie, because he'll cop an orb to the face, and the rest of the right clicks from Silent underneath the Chronosphere.
Oh, and Fly's smoke is finally going to get broken here by Resolution. So he tried to rotate for a gank again, and it was spotted out, so he failed that one. And this is a very quiet game as far as kills go. First blood hasn't even occurred in like 10 minutes, but...
Compared to our last game? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, smoke.
Oh boy,
it got broken. The Vortex comes up, the Gush goes over towards the SD. He's got no way out of this corner, but the Centaur Stomp catches through here. But look at Silent. Jumps in, the SD disruption. He's trying to push himself up the hill. It's not going to work. First blood does happen. It's going to be No-Tail going down, but Excalibur's coming in Silent. No leapy. He'll have to Chrono, but the Dream Call goes off. He holds the Chrono, in fact.
Yeah, I'm really surprised he didn't just throw it there and run out.
Yeah.
Maybe they had the opportunity to turn around with a good Chrono, or at the very least he could have escaped, but...
He might have been worried he'd catch the rest of his team in there and buy some time for the support to rotate in.
I think there was a point when his entire team was like outside this area and the enemies were hanging around here, so it was actually a pretty good Chrono placement he could have got there, and fair enough if they don't want to fight, but maybe he could have gone out. But still, it's going to be 1 for 1. Fnatic do get first blooded on Shadow Demon, but get a recovery kill, and they're ahead on gold. Experience is fairly even, and I don't know if you can be satisfied with having even experience when you go for this kind of an Enchantress pick. I still think we need to see Fnatic take more... play more aggressively around the map and get something done. Here we go, Trixie. Yeah.
There's no actually mana for Chilling Touch, and the SD Disruption will save him from this. And Silent, he's got no jump out of this one. Tinker's on his way in, and Silent with already 2 points of poison on him, he is dead right now. Unless he doesn't even backtrack. He can leap 1 second, leap. No! The SD Poison connected. The SD Poison was able to reach him.
I actually think he might have been able to time walk there. He had it off cooldown for like a full second without casting. It might have been worried that Brewmaster would swing.
I was watching it on my screen, man. He still had a cooldown of 1 second when that last poison went out. I didn't see him with the jump away.
That was really close no matter what, but very nice from Fnatic here to reinforce. And No-Tail has been on point with the disruption so far. He's really countered a couple of ganks here, and as a reward for that, he's now going to have Tranquil Boots, which will make him even faster and have a lot of an easier time moving between the lanes here and being at the right place at the right time. And as far as farming goes, Fnatic are looking pretty good. I mean, Excalibur is getting really good farm. Hani is getting what he should out of the mid lane as well, maybe even a little bit more. 63 CS at 11 minutes in the mid lane is very high, but so does Puck actually, so they're tied up there. This is not looking too shabby for Fnatic, I have to say. This early game could have... You know, we want them to put more pressure here with their lineup, but all in all, the way it's gone, it's not... This could be enough.
Yeah, I'm kind of okay with this. I'm still, though, not... I'm gonna reserve my judgment properly until I see a damage-dealing item over on Faceless Void and the Blink Daggers on both Tide as well as on Puck. And that's only like 600 gold away-ish for both of them. So once these things are up, there's going to be a big change. And because Empire has all their level 6s, this is also another big thing for me. Because there's just so much silence. Like, AL is coming to the bottom lane, and they can just go on the SD, and he gets nailed by that.
Okay.
Fanscore has ultimate, man. He's just sitting there. He was waiting for something. And this is like that level 6 like advantage, which I think Team Empire just has so much over Fnatic. And Fnatic has no way to control it, apart from silence from Hani.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
But in contrast to the previous game, at the very least, Excalibur is getting better farm. He is not as counterpicked. And Fnatic, in general, are not falling apart in the early game. They haven't lost a tower 13 minutes in. They've taken one themselves. Excalibur is now starting to split apart the map. And I don't know if Empire has what it takes to... Yes, they want to go for these brute force teamfights, but Excalibur is already in a position where he's starting to put pressure on a lane like this top lane. They have to defend. And as long as they have to do that, they can't really group up and get the fight they want.
Yeah, I actually agree with you on that one, man. Like, they needed something to work for, like split push, but... Team Empire's trade-off is the fact they've just got so much teamfight control, so if they can force Fnatic to come into a teamfight, then Fnatic are in a lot of trouble.
Oh, bot lane.
They already jumped again. Yeah, there's Chrono, and this time it's going to be Trixie. Split won't come in time. Void even getting a lock at the end, and now Notel. SD Disruption, they got triple TPs in fact coming in for this one. Silent, jump in 2 seconds. Backtrack needs to help him a little bit more here, but it will not. They will go down. The Aeol did come in nicely, but... There's no one near to do damage to the heroes to make them shatter.
And that was a lot of reinforcement from Fnatic. They moved their entire team down there, and because of that, Resolution's going to free farm mid and take a little bit of damage on the tower here. Actually, almost has his Blink Dagger as well at this point, so...
This is how you can catch out a hero like Tinker. Wait till he comes to you, but now Brewmaster split. Matt's going to lose his life with this kill. One charge just won't save him here. He gets out, but he did save Resolution. Resolution copped both the laser and the rocket to the face without using his phase shift. So he accepted the damage he was taking. Without the Thunder then, it could have just been like a straight 0 for 1 in favor of Fnatic.
And they're going to try to make something out of it here in the mid lane. Death Prophet ultimate level 2 is now up, and this is one of the ultimates that gets the most better every time you level it. To be fair, Exorcism level 1 is absolute garbage, and on level 2 it's actually pretty good. So... it's a really big deal that Honey reached level 11, and they will get this tower. It cost them the Brewmaster split, but then again, Tide was...
That's the Tide on the way in. The AEL is going to connect over on Trixie, and he's looking for the blink up.
Oh, denied.
Cannot get it, though, and yep, Ancient Apparition denies the tower. Well, we've got Purge over on Mag, Resolution, blinks up for the Silence Honey, low on life, but the Gush, he actually Yule-Sitches himself up before the Gush is able to connect. And always want to fly, looking to back out, getting hit by the rockets of Excalibur. The rearms already happened, while Concussive Shock connects on fly. Vanscore, he's looking for the nuke. Silences and gets the nuke off with the orb from Resolution, able to pick up a kill. A little bit further down, though, is a triple kill for Excalibur. And now SD Disruption. Excalibur, he's got laser, and that's all it's available. Backtrack, not going to be enough. An ultra kill for Excalibur. Fighting from inside the trees. He's got Blink Dagger available, but Resolution going to silence, do some damage, and make it so he can't blink after him.
Yeah, that was just really well done by Fnatic and a misstep from Empire at the same time. They already lost that tower. Sure, they got the deny, but the price they paid was really not worth it. And the reason they shouldn't try to defend that is they know they have Ravage on cooldown because they used it before, and Void was in the bottom lane without a TP, and if he even had one, he had ultimate on cooldown. Just cut your losses and lose the tier 1. I think they could have been okay with losing this tower. It's obviously not that good, but knowing how they can come back in this with massive teamfight later on, the only thing that needs to not happen for them is that Fnatic gets more ahead. And that kind of fight really costs them. That was about 1,500 gold and 2,000 experience going Fnatic's way, basically for free, because they already got what they came for, which was the tower.
Resolution, if he was just second earlier, he would have caught out Notel on the bottom lane. And they can see everything that's moving around. There's actually a really nice aggressive ward coming out from Empire on the bottom lane. It's trying to keep tabs on them so they know when to gank it up. And they're actually giving Vanscore a little bit more space in the bottom lane to get that Skywrath up. The hilarious thing is, too, Skywrath, for me, kind of feels like the better controller during these team fights than anybody else in Empire. Which is hilarious I say such a thing when you have like Dreamcall, Ravage, as well as Faceless Void Chrono. Like, all of these things together. Void actually never got his Chrono off during that mid-fight.
Yeah, he wasn't even there, and he didn't have it. That's why you feel like Skywrath is the big controller, because those two ultimates actually weren't ready. So, well, then it's kind of hard to use them, right? But, yeah. We're going to see if Empire can manage to get the kind of fight they need, at least for Fnatic for now. This is starting to look really good. I don't know if I'm making an overstatement if I say they needed this kind of lead at this point, but, well, I'm actually going to stand by that. I think they really needed to be this far ahead. I'm not convinced it's going to be enough just yet, but we're starting to reach the point when Excalibur is going to take off really heavily. He has the Dagon already, 16 minutes in. We'll be upgrading that really quickly, and then they can start bursting these heroes very fast. And Silent's item build is actually, I think, he's so fragile. It's going to be hard for him to go in. It's going Maelstrom treads.
At the same time, though, if he jumps in, like, the only thing which is going to give him a good chrono is if the SD is caught out. At all other times, you might just be sitting there going, chrono's not worth it. Wow, Mag. Ravage is over to kill up the SD. Now, the ALD will connect in on both Trixie as well as SD, but Mag, he's just been poisoned up by Excalibur. The Dream comes over to hold him there. He walked out of it, killing himself. Yep. He actually killed himself then. The rest of Empire were backing up. He didn't have to die. Whoops.
That's also going to be a roast for Fnatic, and they were just ready for that. There were 5 heroes in position. It was a 2-man gank from Empire, and it's weird to see Empire playing like this. It's almost like they're not completely sure what they want to do, because they have an amazing teamfight lineup, but we haven't seen the teamfight yet. They're gathering up in these duos. Maybe they think it's too obvious, and Fnatic are going to figure them out if they start going missing on the map, and that Fnatic will just dodge the fights. But if you want to go for a 2-man gank, let Skywrath be one of them. Not tied together with Puck. Either Puck Skywrath or tied Skywrath, and you Ravage and you instantly use Skywrath ult on the target and he dies. But this just didn't work out. I feel like it's been like 10 minutes since we saw the chrono, and it's only been used like once this game, so... Empire's they're being read right now by Fnatic.
Yeah. I'm kind of with you on the whole thing where Empire just don't really seem to have a purpose. You look at the game, and maybe Empire is just still very, very, like, worried about just about the split push, about the effect of this Tinker. Excalibur has destroyed many a lineup. And they may just be sitting there in the back of their mind going, wait, so how are we meant to deal with this guy? I'm not quite sure. Do we just move as 5? We move as 5. Then we move as 5. It's like, oh, we're wasting too much time trying to find kills. So what do we do now? No, we move as 3. No, that's not enough. Move as 2 with a Puck and a Tide. Yep, still not enough.
Oh boy, Always Wanna Fly's in a terrible position right now.
He's trapped on 2 different sides. He's just trying to get the ward down. But, okay, Euroscepter will send him up. And now he's back down again. He's trying to get a short-range AA blast off, which he did. He actually connected on fly, but he knew he was dead.
Yeah, all of that to place this sentry ward, which I think Fnatic will realize was just placed. That was very obvious, else why would AA ever be down here in the river? It's already being pinged out now by Fnatic. Go counter ward this, so... Basically gave his life away there, and... Well, we're gonna see if Empire can make a comeback in this game. I think we're reaching the point when we need to start talking about a comeback, because sure, they're behind a little bit, but it might not be... You know, you can be behind on golden experience and actually still indirectly leading the game because your lineup is doing better than it should, but I think right now they're doing worse than they should, and for me, the way to come back here is just to include the Void more in the movement and the Skywrath.
I'm down for that, man. Like, even like,
here we go.
Like dual
more
combinations. Like oh, okay, so we get a 4-man smoke movement. Always on a fly can keep his distance. The funny thing is, though, he just broke his smoke here in the mid lane. But it's actually bringing Excalibur here to the mid. He's got Dagon up and running. So we're back to our standard Excalibur build, which is BTs, Blink Dagger, Ghost Scepter, into the Dagon, then finish the E-Blade. With the casual Soul Ring, of course. But they need to catch him out and then force into a tower.
Yes, and now they're getting split pushed again. Hani, this bot tower is just disappearing. So much damage coming out from this level 2 ultimate with 4 in Witchcraft. And they're not going to defend it. They're going to try for a trade here in the top lane, but I think this... Fnatic might even be able to hold this if they play it right. Big Daddy's already porting up.
I'm wondering though if they know resolutions behind the tower, because that could cause a lot of problems for them. Like, you got Blink Dagger Tide that can jump on you. You still got Chrono, and you got Resolution who can also jump. And Hani, well, this is going to be the end of his ultimate. Like, it only just wore off. And now, well, Notel has called out Mag. Disruptions. Notel, I don't know if Mag's just asleep right now. Hani actually getting the silence off, but Boy's still got his Chrono. And Resolution, he's jumped on Notel. Now, this is a 1-for-1 trade-off, but Brewmaster jumps in for the split. Now, Hani, he's also going up high. Resolution being controlled. He's able to face shift himself around while Hani continues to run away from the orb. But Resolution does go down, and now Silent, well, backtrack. Can he even get one? He keeps getting silenced. Another fight with no Chrono. It's a 3-for-1. Mag is being punished by this Brewmaster, while the Skywrath Mage Ultimate almost killed off Hani, but almost isn't enough. And this will be a full 5-for-1 trade-off. Again in favor of Fnatic. And again, they just, like, through all the silences which Fnatic don't have, they're getting you at the perfect times to stop them.
I don't know if Empire cannot execute that kind of team fight. I think this is the best chance they had. And there were 2 of their big ultimates, actually 3 ultimates that weren't even used.
Yep.
Chrono, Dreamcall, and Ravage, neither got used. And it was all because of the setup coming here from N0tail. He caught Tide in a bad position, and not only did he catch him off, he was also blocked by his own illusions. So he was stuck there for such a long time that the fight could develop. I'm still puzzled by how Fnatic won that fight so hard, though, with no ultimate available for Hani, and with N0tail just dying in the beginning of the fight. Sure, he stalled out the Tide, but I mean, if these ultimates don't get used by Empire, I think they're just too greedy with them. If you hit 2-man Ravage or 2-man Chrono or something, that's fine. Then you can fight on those terms. I think maybe they're hoping for fights that are just not realistic to get.
See, the funny thing is, though, their fight was entirely realistic, but the positioning kind of didn't make it realistic. Like, if we zoom out a little bit on this top lane, we had Resolution up here on the top box in the trees. We had Tidehunter over here. And then a little bit further down, like, we had the rest of the crew. And they're like, well, who do we initiate on? We had one from Fnatic TPM, and then the rest of them came in through the jungle. So you had one hero who was meant to be initiator, expecting like a 4-man TP to come on top of the tower. That would have made that fight perfect, but because they got approached from like 2-3 different angles, Empire just like, they couldn't have their full-on control team fight. And San has to leave himself away on the top. Actually, they might get a kill here. N0tail's caught in the river and always on a fly. Okay, they're moving up. They're looking for fly. Okay, wait, Void? What the hell?
Yeah, he got one-shot by Excalibur. He has E-Blade already, 22 minutes in. So he E-Bladed, Rocket, Dagon, and he's level 18 in a 22-minute game.
SD Disrupt to stopping this bit of Resolution. It's a good silence and Dream Coil, but he can't follow up with a kill right now. He had a phase shift. The Ravage will come up from Mag, and that will be able to get a kill and stop Trixie from going for the straightaway split. But with Crypt Swarm, as well as Clap, and that Ultman still up from Hani, they had enough damage to kill off Mag. So the Puck did get himself away to safety, but he's all being just as a defensive nature. And the movement's being for Hani. Now, that Crypt Swarm, I think, is doing more damage than his ultimate is, in, like, as far as like effectiveness during the fight.
Yeah, this is it's going out of control now. I think Empire, you know, they have this amazing mid-game lineup with great team fight, but now the deficit is just so big that it's going to be so hard to come back. Excalibur is out of control. Level 18 at 23 minutes is ridiculously high, and it's all been set up by these good rotations and good ganks from Fnatic, and Empire's inability to get their teamfight abilities off. They, once again, Void got caught off. I don't think we've seen a Chrono since 7 minutes into the game, or 8 or so. So he's gone 15 minutes now without using his ultimate.
Hey, here we go!
Oh boy.
Chrono and Excalibur, but he has to wait out the E-Blade, so now he can attack, but he doesn't have a lot of life points here. One laser will kill him. He had to run away then. Mag will come in, but it's already too late. He TP'd out inside the trees.
Like he gave up.
That was a, I can't outrun him, because the Tinker could have just blinked him. Oh, he's coming back in again. And wait for it. E-Blade already. The Skyrat just evaporates. And always want to fly. There's silences again coming in from Hani. The timing of this. Resolution can't do anything, and N0tail delays the attack. Martial Machines come out. A rearm into Rocket. It won't be enough to kill off Mag. Yulset bring up into the air means he can blink into a laser rocket. That will be enough to get off the kill. Not to mention the E-Blade. This is GG, man. Like, Excalibur is walking over Team Empire right now. And Empire, like, they're getting killed behind their tier 2 tower when they have Void, Tide, as well as Puck and AA and Skyrat. Yeah. Like, this shouldn't be possible.
This is what an Excalibur Tinker game looks like if he gets completely free reign and he isn't really counterpicked and he just, you know, you can't leave him alone like this. That's
even the stat, man. Even the stat.
It's insane. He's just out of control this game. He plays this hero so incredibly well. And that's what I loved about Empire's way of dealing with him in the first game. They knew what they were getting into. They counterpicked and counterplayed him really hard, and he didn't become effective in that game. In this game, we're showing why teams have been banning Tinker against Excalibur. It's such a beautiful performance. He's using the map very well, farming extremely much while still being part of 19 out of 21 kills for his team. And yeah, he's completely out of control. This is just, I don't want to call this standout performance because it seems like this is what he does every game that this happens in. You just need to not let it happen. And Empire, they missed their timing and they're getting to pay for it. He's just rolling over them.
Yeah. This is where I was, we were talking about during the draft saying we loved Empire's thing, but you just said it perfectly then. Empire missed their timing. They needed to win that fight up on top lane. And they need to be a little bit more over-aggressive with their items. Like, the Tinker still got free space to farm up. Empire tried to stop the stacking, but they didn't succeed. They didn't succeed. There was still like that quad stack of Ancients, which Excalibur came in to farm up, and that was like his injection of money he required. And with that, he makes space, so even Trixie now, this guy had basically nothing at the start of this game. And now he's got 1,800 gold, 1,200 away from a full Aghanim Scepter after having his Blink Dagger. And now Hani, he's going to find Silent, starts with the Silence, and won't have any other follow-up. It's just Concussive Shock coming to Hani, but his movement speed as well. Like, we kind of even haven't talked about Hani at all. Like, he's getting silenced off left, right, and center, but he's sitting there with a level 2 Exorcism, insanely higher movement speed, and now he's got a level 3 Exorcism available. Hello.
Hot plate mill.
Engagement. There's your Chrono. But he can't beat Fly. It's untouchable as well as the sprites. Tinker's TPing it, and they got Void in the air. Ravage will come up from Mag. Now that's nice. With the Dream Coil, Mag gets a double kill on this one, but Excalibur, he's still E-blading out Hani, waiting his time. He's got Crypt Swarm available. SC Disruption at the very last moment, meaning Silent had to hang around a little bit longer inside the Marsh Machines, backtracking a little bit of it. I thought Tinker might just buy back here, but he's got nothing to jump to at the moment. But no tell, he's trying to catch up to Silent. Look at the movement speed from Hani. He's so quick. Crypt Swarm, there's no mana for it, and now he does it. Yule Scepter up into the air. Poison will fly, Silence as well, so he can't just walk himself away, which he can't do anyway. And they get the kill without having to use their nukes. Brilliant play. The AA ulti won't connect on either of them either. They're home scot-free.
Yeah, I love that this fight happened because it actually got to show what Empire's lineup could have done if they got the scenario that they were hoping for and that they just never got in the game. That fight we just saw was pretty even. They were 15,000 gold behind when that happened and 20,000 experience. And they got a draw in that fight. That's with such an absolutely ridiculous deficit. This was a fight where they used their spells, and the Chronosphere in that fight actually was kind of irrelevant too. He used it on a solo Enchantress that didn't even die.
Yep.
So it was the other abilities combined, so they still haven't had... That team fight was good. It might not even be satisfactory looking from the standpoint of their draft, but it was certainly good enough. If they have that kind of fight 10 minutes ago, it's a 5-0 wipe, just flat out. Fnatic get completely crushed, but the advantage is too big now, and that's what I was saying about the timing window. Empire's lineup now is actually really weak, because they have so much AoE damage, but Fnatic are really tanky and really mobile, and they just spread them out and kill them now, and Silence damage is not relevant yet.
Empire's coming in to maybe contest Roshan. They have Chrono, they have Dream Coil. Tide Ravish not available, but then again, maybe they won't have Resolution available either. He's purged up, Poison stacked, and there's your Dagon E-Blade again from Excalibur. SC's the man that gets to take the kill though, and they go back in for Roshan. So with no Puck, there's no Dream Coil, there's no control around the pit apart from Chrono. No Tide Ravage available for 23 seconds, and Empire make the only choice they can. Back up, they cannot contest. AA ulti will slow it down, but that is all.
I'm doing pretty good damage to Trixie here, as well as Fly, but yeah, Untouchable is just too good.
I wonder if Hani just says
really
screw it and just throws the ulti out just to ensure Roshan. But he doesn't want the cooldown time.
No, if they get the Aegis now, they might be able to end the game. So I think Hani wants to save his ultimate for that. They're going to take the Aegis on the Tinker, most likely, or unless if they feel like he can just buy back and come back and that's enough.
I would never put it on the Tinker in this game, man. Like,
it's pretty bad on Death Prophet, though. It's not a good Aegis carrier at all. You could give it to Brewmaster, I guess. But so that if he gets caught, he can still split. I think Brew is the best pickup, actually. We'll see what Fnatic think.
Well done, Excalibur.
Everyone dodges the ult? No,
Roshan belongs to them. Well,
you were wrong, Toby. Yes, you were wrong. I mean, yes, I was right, kind of. Wait,
you changed your mind after you listened to me, man. You said, yeah, I'll be Brewmaster.
You baited me.
Yeah, I'm sorry,
it's a
man.
Trap.
I'm sorry. Nahaz, I'm going to also ask you if you can bring that up again. The banter could not be stopped. The banter could not be stopped. I led Syndra astray. We need to see our chat trivia question again.
Oh, was that a trivia question?
Yeah, that was chat trivia, man. Who are the only 2 players to reach level 18 on Tinker by 25 minutes? Well, I'm going to say Excalibur is going to be one of them.
He said 2 other players.
Oh, who are the 2 other players? Okay.
Yeah. And why am I helping you? Why am I not mocking you?
I don't know, Sin. You've become nice all of a sudden. What is with this? You're meant to be rude Danish. Come on, I work with Melk. I know what it's all about.
Who's playing a really impressive Tinker? DDZ?
Oh, yeah.
DDZ has done it.
It's true. I'd almost want to flag Hani as well, but I don't know. Is this only for this patch? Is it only for this patch?
No, I think it was all time. I'm going to say DDZ and Dendi. I believe Dendi had some really sick Tinker games in the past, and he might have done that.
That was in the very early stages.
Yeah, it's a while ago, but he was insane at some point.
Tide's in a lot of trouble. Looks like Void's also getting pounded right now. That's back in the middle lane. He actually managed to trigger off the Chrono. So, the Chrono will now be triggered after Excalibur had his AUC Mortal also triggered out.
He does have buyback, though. I think Fnatic can go Rex.
That was no-tail?
4 ultimates used by Empire.
Whoa! Blink away to safety, man.
So, do you have any guesses for the trivia?
See, I still want to flag Hani, but I'm thinking...
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
I don't know who else I'd really want to flag for it, man. Like, Ferrari comes to mind. But
I don't think he's had that, though.
Yeah, and not in Dota 2. Like, in Dota 1, he played a lot of it. But in Dota 2, I don't remember much of it.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Arteezy, Hani.
Damn it, Arteezy actually did it. Wow. Okay. Arteezy has had some mixed performances on Tinker. I remember he had some really good games, but I didn't think they were that extremely good. He's had some very good games and some poor games, which happens to any Tinker player, because we just saw Excalibur, who's arguably one of the best Tinkers in the world. He got so crushed in the last game, he couldn't even, couldn't do anything. But so it's Arteezy and Hani, actually. So you won again, you were right. I got both wrong. I can't believe that game, the qualifiers, was DDZ. He got so much, though.
He did. He really did.
I still didn't have those levels.
And you would think it'd be good.
He must be pretty close, though.
I think his Invoker games were stronger during the qualifiers.
And that was sick, too. Top lane.
Yeah,
nice link by resolution. He will get out. Oh, maybe
trees,
not.
Trees.
Yeah, he will.
Vision. There's no vision. Honey try with a Grim Swarm to try and reach him, but not possible. But it does kind of like bring up a different point with Fnatic. You get both Excalibur as well as Hani inside of Fnatic, which are great Tinker players. And then you got Meepo. Then you have No-Tal and Excalibur, who are great Meepo players. And they just double up on their heroes all the time. Like even
so what you're saying is they're picking Excalibur, those heroes, because they already love them?
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is the fact that Fnatic, it's really difficult to read their drafts just based on what heroes you pick up, because you're never 100% sure what lanes they would be played in at the end of the day. Like even Earthshaker. Like, Hani plays it, No-Tal plays it. Hani plays a roaming Earthshaker, where No-Tal plays a lane controlling it, like Earthshaker. It just makes the lineup really difficult to like read and draft against all the time. Unless you're Empire, at which point like it looks so easy to get with one. Also Hani, man, it's just being a boss on the front lines. He just can range racks without anybody touching him.
His EHP is through the roof. He's got 2400 health with 22 armor, and then he has the Ewells and even a regen.
Commit. He's got to commit right now. They're right behind it. Hani's still here. They're chased so far for this. But with the silence coming out there from Hani, they had no way to actually blink and control.
But, well, you know, I was talking about this game like it was pretty much over, and Fnatic has an absolutely huge lead, but we saw in the jungle that kind of teamfight Empire could take, and Fnatic are not... They got a range tracks there. I think if they get a second lane, to me the game's just over. But Silent is getting somewhere. He now has a BKB, so he can actually commit into fights now, not worrying about the Tinker.
They've also got a Scythe device.
Tide is getting pretty close to Ravage, double Ravage with Refresh Orb. And is that the full, almost the full Hex?
It's not a full Scythe. It actually saved his money. Oh, so are you sending it back?
I'm sending it back now. Yeah.
This could be dangerous though, as there is a dire Observer Ward right here. This is going to watch the courier. They could actually snipe out this courier right now. Look for the flag. There's a Blink Dagger over on No-Tal. Movement speed, look at the courier go. Like,
he could have Blink ultied that.
Even the what? Yeah, he could have. Because Purge will slow down the courier, wouldn't it? It actually
kills it.
It doesn't instantly kill it though.
It kills it after the... Whenever the damage is dealt, it kills it. All levels of Demonic Purge kill the courier. It's one of the very few abilities that works that way, and it works that way because Dota. So...
just Dota.
That's how it is.
Like, you don't have to explain it, it's just Dota.
I actually remember reporting that to IceFrog like 2 years ago. I was like, I was playing a game and a Shadow even killed my courier. I was like, what the hell is this? And I said, is Demonic Purge supposed to kill the courier? And I think his response was, do you think that's a problem? I was like, I don't know. Oh, here we go.
It's got 3 of them, and now the Chrono actually with Excalibur. They've managed to pop off Tinker, moving over to Trixie. Time locked over on the Brewmaster. He got silenced up. He was never able to get his split off, and now it's a full fight. They actually brought the Tinker back and the Brewmaster back into this fight, and Excalibur's causing a lot of problems here. The Ghost Whip is not helping him off. The Crypt Swarm Van Squad's gonna pop. Somehow they managed to turn this around, and I think it's just money turned this fight around. Look at how deep Harney's going in. A Crypt Swarm from that range, it wouldn't kill off the Ancient Apparition, but they're trying to make sure they can just take this top racks. So, again, the Martial Machines, another jump out. This time the silence is over on Silence, and the Brewmaster split will go straight away. They'll bring down the Void. Maybe not. Nah, they do. The Brewmaster's attack followed up the hill. The top racks is fully gone. And they just keep pushing out the middle lane. The ALD will come in, but Harney will be able to evade it. And Brewmaster, he sent the A up in the air. That's actually Harney now coming in too with the Yule Scepter. They could send him up a secondary time if they wanted to, but with Mag that close, they're playing a little bit safer. Or they just say, you know what, Excalibur? Okay, backtrack. He backtracked to E-Blade and the Dagon.
Well played.
See, who was I talking to? I think it was Drask I was talking to at DreamHack. And he basically said the Faceless Void is actually the only hero in the game that could go the entire game if the random generator works, where he would take no damage.
Yes.
But, oh no. But there was one thing. There was one thing, and I cannot remember what it was. That would actually bypass the backtrack.
HP removal, I guess.
Bloodseeker. Bloodseeker Ultimate. HP removal. It would actually take damage from that.
I don't think you can backtrack earn or anything like that either. So yeah, HP removal I guess goes through. But yeah, backtrack is just one of those special abilities.
HP removal?
Yes.
Okay. I always just thought it was like a dot effect. Alright.
Well, it is, but it's an HP removal effect. So it goes through BKB and stuff. Unless I was born yesterday, but...
I would trust your judgment.
Please tell me I am not spreading something wrong now. It should really be HP removal.
If you wanted people, Synderen does instructional lessons on how to play Dota.
Yeah, I do.
We have trouble for SD. Already picked off. Trixie also got hit by that AA blast. Man, Empire's making this really, really difficult for Fnatic. For a team which has a basically 20k gold and experience advantage, it's being really, really difficult. There you go. He's 8 for 1 on the Tinker for DDZ. Does that make you feel better? It's like your Templar Assassin thing, man. Nahaz just won't. Like, he gives it to you on a technicality.
Yeah, he is absolutely insane. I get the technical bonus point again, but yeah. And HP removal is indeed the damage type of earn. You make me start...
Doubting
you make
yourself?
me uncomfortable when you... Yeah, you make me doubt myself when you talk to me like that. Just be like, yeah, you're right.
I would like to do that, but if I agree with you, then we both look like fools.
That's true.
Instead of actually having
you're basically
a good
saving your own ass. That's what you're doing.
That's true. That is true. Well, I can't agree with something if I don't actually understand it, which is why I also won't assume something. I will actually ask the question, as opposed to just assuming these days. Unless I feel like 99.999 recurring, of course, like positive that it's correct.
Yeah. But yeah, the one, to finish off in the backtrack discussion, it's actually one of the few percentage-based abilities in the game that is not pseudo-random. Most bashes and evasion and stuff are... I think all types of evasion are actually not pseudo-random at all. I could be wrong on that, but... It is a really special ability in that it can block 1 damage and it can block 600, and it's just a percentage-based chance. An ability like Counter Helix used to not be pseudo-random. It was changed a few versions ago. And people were discussing whether that was a buff or a nerf tax, but it just made him more stable. Because it's such a big part of the hero that it needed to be reliable.
That was probably just a mental thing for teams. Like, they looked at Axe and go, well, I don't know if I can win with this guy. But then they're like, well, I don't get the burst damage anymore. So it's like, it was only a risk-taker hero. That's all it really was. And now teams
you actually pretty much know what you get most of the time.
So because of that, you can plan for it, and you can feel safer in selecting the Axe. So that's why I feel like Axe is going to be one of those huge heroes coming into TI4 as well. Man, there's going to be so many freaking huge heroes that can be played in TI4. It's
like physically huge, or?
Well, I don't know. Well, Axe doesn't look physically huge.
His weapon is really big. Oh boy,
now that's physically huge. Into the air. Vanscore, silenced up. He's in a lot of trouble. Impetus 1, Impetus 2, and the basic attack coming in from Death Prophet.
And Excalibur is just like, damn, I was in base. Yeah, I bet he wanted that kill so bad, but... Well, at the very least for Empire, they sacrifice a hero, but they buy time. They're just moving around the map and stalling the game, basically.
I'm not so sure about this from Hani. Oh, Courier Snipe. Come on, Mag. He just saw it come out. I think maybe they just saw Mag come out.
Yeah, who spotted who?
But we're getting a pipe out from Hardy. I know what the reason for it is for the AA ultimate. So he's doing it for his team. But I'm wondering if you could have built like a Scythe of Ice onto the Death Prophet instead.
I don't think he's finishing the pipe, to be honest. Then he would have done it by now. He has 5,000 gold and just got the hood. So I think he will get something else. He wants it for himself. The pipe
drum roll, please. Is Cinder in right for the third time tonight?
The pipe would be great, but it would be great 20 minutes ago or 15.
Yeah.
We're reaching the point now that there's double Ravage. It's more about the control than the actual spell damage that Empire have right now. They just need to buy time. Pipe will negate some damage, but I don't know how important it is now in comparison to bigger stuff. Like you said, a Scythe, or he could have got a BKB, and then he would be pretty much invincible. He would actually be. No one can kill him. Silent doesn't even deal physical damage. That's... Yeah, he doesn't even deal much physical damage because of his item build yet. It's Maelstrom, which is, of course, magical damage, so... Well, Fnatic gave up on Roche.
Well, and they're coming...
Is this actually happening? I can't believe if they managed to do this. This is with Cheese as well.
Yeah. Man, and Empire of the High Ground here. They were trying to loop around and Fnatic, but they wouldn't come in.
You are kidding me, Fnatic just gave that away. Oh my god.
It's not done yet. They're coming in, man.
They have no idea.
Harney's all the way in. The orbs are flying the wrong direction, though, from Resolution. Now he sees him behind. The silence will go, but Roshan's taken. Aegis over on the Void. He leaves himself in, but the E-Blade, it can't kill him. Again, he was able to backtrack. Now the Chrono will go. He focuses on No Tail and the Tide Ravage to make sure Excalibur's going absolutely nowhere. The Time Locks are there too. A secondary Ravage out from Mag. Silent pounds himself up. He's looking for a hit on Fly. He's got the BKB protecting him. Now Brewmaster comes in. The stuns will go, but it's the Aegis Immortal triggering out from Empire. Tinker is brought back in the fight. Mag's back in again. Anchor Smash and Trixie. Resolution. Perfect silence timing, but Harney, he's just been sitting here the entire time with his ultimate. It's the downside about E-Blade. It doesn't attack the targets when that happens. And now Mag jumps in. It's a three-man slow, but Mag, he's enough! It missed up the hill! He'll survive through that. They lose the Faceless Void, however, and now Blink following Excalibur. Rockets, it actually both went down to Resolution, in which he phase shifted and evaded it straight away, and now Blink away from Mag. He'll actually survive through this engagement. Excalibur, Blink Dagger 1 second, but no more mana to really keep going on with this fight. And Mag hides in the trees where it's safe.
Middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, that was such a... I don't know. That was so odd, first of all, that they actually got the Roche, and then the fight itself was really weird. Dream Coil wasn't used until the fight was pretty much over. I don't know who... I guess Resolution was just controlled by the Brewmaster, and Trixie just kept him out of the fight, because that looked like it could have gone better for Empire with the opening they got. There was a good Chrono, but the follow-up damage wasn't there, so he wasn't able to bring down Tinker fast enough. And it took them a lot of time, as well as both Ravages, to only kill Excalibur. They hit Excalibur and Fly on the Enchantress, but Fly lived and didn't really care about it, so... Again, Empire,
we're both right with Harney. He does a finish pipe and he builds a Scythe of Ice. Go team!
Woo! How boring. I want to win, I don't want to draw.
Well, why can't you be right as opposed to like a draw? You must really hate like 2-game series.
Why can't you be wrong?
Well, that happens enough, man. Harney's going to spill the ulti out now. And, well, everything is up as far as Empire goes, apart from Tide Ravage. That's 40 seconds still on cooldown. So he's just got to gush and Anchor Smash from range and pray that this Ghost Scepter of his keeps him alive when he jumps in. But that tower... Okay, Cryptstorm doesn't hit it, and Tide just says, screw it. You're not getting the money, Harney. So he needs it. That's a almost 24,000 net worth Death Prophet, sitting 44 minutes into this game. He is almost a full 10,000 net worth above the highest hero in Empire. And that's actually the Puck. It's not even the Void, it's the Puck, who's still got 4.6k unspent gold in Resolution.
Yeah, I wonder what he's going for. Maybe Refresher Orb, so they have double Hex on him. That could be a choice here to be able to win the late game. But yeah, Hani is just off the charts. He's 6-0-15. He hasn't died. Everyone else in the game has died at least 3 times. Hani's just getting so far ahead because of that. He's getting great farm, and I think his item choices are right as well.
I say in this game, man, Resolution should probably look towards a BKB. Just considering how much can come his way, like a Link Sphere wouldn't protect him enough. I
don't think they have enough damage then. Like the Void, like you said, is not even leading.
You can't like build into a Monkey King bar unless you want to start to see Desolator Puck.
Yeah, get a Deso on Puck. I actually don't even think that would be that bad, to be honest. I think it's a better choice than BKB, actually. Because he has to rely on his ability to dodge with phase shift and hexing the right target. If he starts building defensive items, Empire will lose. They won't have enough damage, and Puck with the high net worth, he has to do it.
He can't get anything off in the fight. Like, if he gets silenced by the Death Prophet or controlled up by the Brewmaster, he can't do anything during the fight anyway. He needs the BKB so he can actually orb and silence and dream coil and all that other good stuff.
That's why maybe they just need to set up the fight in a way so that Puck can initiate not as the first, but as the second or the third hero, so that the Ravage has already been used or they get a good chrono before Puck goes in. We're going to see if they can get that. Hani, of course, is just going to do exactly this. Leave
silent,
the
leave him. They're going to go straight for Hani. They want him dead straight away, but the SD Destruction, Brewmaster, he's going to always want to fly. The Silence want to fly as well, so he can't throw this AA ulti out. He gets it out finally. It connects on Hani at the last moment, but they've already lost the Void, as well as the Ancient Apparition. And Hani's ultimate is just ravaging the mid-racks. With the Broodlings also on the field, they come over and just call it. This will be game number 2 going the way of Fnatic. The Tidelander will die here at the last moment if they can kill him off fast enough. And boom! Ravage 1, Refresher, Ravage 2! And now... Oh, he's dead. He's dead. And there's the official GG call. I think he had cancelled just so he could have a crack at that one at the last moment.
Yeah, very nicely played here by Fnatic, though. Really good game from them, bouncing back from the first one. I think as far as strategy goes in this one, I don't think this was a strategic win as such, just from a draft point of view. I think they just outplayed Empire in this game. They outmaneuvered them, they read the game better, and Empire just never really got to use their teamfight potential. And that last fight, just to recap that, Silent jumped in on the most tanky hero on the Dire side. He solo chronoed the Death Prophet, who just got disrupted, and then the game was just over. That's the initiation you can't make, but that you also have to make at the same time. That's the problem. If they don't go there, they lose the racks, and if they go, they lose the fight. So they were kind of doomed at that point. I think Empire held on fairly well, considering how far they were behind. And if there's anything to take from that game, it's that their lineup was definitely tailored to play heavy teamfight in the mid game, but when they got their teamfight, it was just too late, and Fnatic just exploited the fact that they had a fat Tinker in this game, and Death Prophet as well. Just beautiful play from both of them.
Yeah. Man, I'm looking forward to game number 3. Hopefully everyone will stay tuned for that match as well. So we'll be back here after a very short break for match number 3 here in our grand final, the D2CL. A lot of money up for grabs as well. It's actually 34,000 roughly for first place, with 17,000 going to second position. So some good cash on the way. We're drawn up. Let's see who gets himself ahead here in game number 3. We'll be back.